नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, आदाब। आप सभी को मेरे यानी सीए यथार्थ बाफना की तरफ से एक प्यार भरा इस्तकबाल। With an articleship experience at KPMG and EY, I recently cleared my CA finals in December 2021 with an All India rank 32. उसके बाद क्या? नौकरी की तलाश? Going through the vigorous preparation for jobs and grilling myself through various stages of interviews, finally I could land up a job at Mahindra under the Leadership Development Program. So here I am with my learnings and experiences from my job hunt. So once you qualify as a CA, broadly speaking, there are two streams to get jobs. One is campus, second is off-campus. By campus, I mean, the campus placements conducted by ICAI, and off-campus refers to any job opportunity which is available outside the campus. Nothing much to do about campus. ICAI की एक website है. You have to log in, create your account there. You have to fill in a lot of details there. Upload your CV. Then ICAI sends the candidature to the companies which have registered on that portal. The companies, based on their criteria, will shortlist you, and if you get shortlisted by any company, the names of those companies along with the job description, CTC and all those things, you'll get those on dashboards, and then you're required to give a consent if you are also interested to give interviews for that particular company. While registration for campus, you have to select certain centers. Centers are basically different locations where you are interested to be placed. Usually speaking, अगर आप मुंबई सेंटर सेलेक्ट करते हो तो प्रोबेबली जॉब लोकेशन भी मुंबई होगी, दिल्ली सेलेक्ट कर रहे हो तो जॉब लोकेशन भी दिल्ली होगी यूजुअली, बट nowadays MNCs and these companies maybe they can send you to their factories, or in some outskirts they can send you to any location, but usually there are chances that the center you select, probably the job location would be the same as that. Speaking about trend, if you want IT related companies and high tech, the tech companies, probably Bangalore would be an appropriate location to select. If you want high paying jobs in some big companies, Mumbai would be relevant for you then. And if you are interested in working in PSUs, then probably Delhi would be I guess a wiser decision, wiser location to select. Company wise, the location wise companies which come are the names, or the list is available on website. You can look at it. Also, the brochure for the 56th campus placement for this time has been issued by ICI, and the schedules are out, and probably the shortlisting, the processes till shortlisting would be over by September 22. I have some data about the last campus which was conducted for December 21 pass outs. There were 173 companies which have registered out of giving 7360 jobs, and there were 10,197 candidates, and the jobs accepted were 5,538. The jobs accepted and the number of jobs available, there is a difference, because usually candidates probably accepts, but he gets a better option elsewhere, so he drops out. So that is how it is going. But what you can see is there are 10,000 approximately students and 5,000 jobs, or maybe 7,000 jobs. So there are still 3,000 to 5,000 students. They have to maybe look outside the campus. So this shows the relevance of hunting for a job off campus. Also this is July. You got your result in mid-July, and these all things will happen till September. You have good 1.5 to 2 months. So you should definitely explore off campus, and off campus becomes very relevant for you. So talking about off campus opportunities, off campus is really very unorganized and unstructured in a manner. There is no one place where you can get all the job opportunities available. And there are different types of jobs, different profiles, different job descriptions, different packages, different types of companies, sectors, service sector, industry. There are a lot of dynamics. It will involve a lot of extensive research from your end to find out the opportunities and the openings available for you. While doing that, you should keep in mind the profile and the company. What I mean by this, probably is by profile I mean there are different profiles of jobs available. One, it could be service sector, it could be industry, it could be consulting, it could be audit, it could be, there are different types of profiles, right? So while evaluating the profiles, you have to keep in mind, first of all, interest. The profile, the job description should be in line with your interest, because you will enjoy only things which you are interested in. So interest would be one thing. Second probably would be the growth and scope. there are, the dynamics of every profile, or every sector, changes. So you'll have to, maybe look, if, for example, I'm interested in construction or real estate sector, probably accounting of that, maybe. So what I can see is, government is very aggressive, or, is bullish about the infrastructure development in, the next 20, 30 years. So probably I see a very, positive, or, I see high growth potential in the real estate or construction companies. So probably it has high growth and scope. If it aligns, well and good. Second, money. Jobs for CA freshers, there's a wide range of, package which they get, right, starting from 6-7 lakhs to, 30-35 lakhs. It's a wide range. So you have to, see what fits in your target as per, the package and stuff. Definitely money should not be, dictating your decision, but definitely money is important. And then would be, the long-term plan. By long-term plan, I mean, for example, you are thinking to, maybe do an MBA in, coming years. So probably working in a consultancy firm, or, working under big MNCs or big names like, the big fours, or, these type, McKinsey, Bain, BCG type of companies, probably would, give you an edge in your B school. If you want to start your own business, probably, jobs like auditing, would help you develop your business acumen, which can, help you develop your, or, start your own, establish your own business. So that also, you should keep in mind. About profiles, then about company. First, obviously, while, if you select or if you target any company, you have to see whether the profile you are interested in, whether that company profiles or, offers you that profile. City would be very relevant. Different companies for different job profiles, they they give you different job locations. For example, ITC, offers, there are, management trainee programs of which, ITC, for which, ITC recruits. ITC is a Southern India based company. So there are high chances then, if you take a job at ITC, probably, you will be transferred to a southern part of India. Are you ready for that? You have to take in mind. Second would be the growth trajectory, in terms of, you can see the existing employees, you can see if, for example, if a person is becoming, is taking, 5 years or 7 years or 10 years in becoming a general manager and so on. You have to, evaluate the growth trajectory in that particular company, in that particular profile. That would, help you to maybe, forecast your future. Then obviously, is there any vacancy in the company you are looking for? And if there is a vacancy, and are you eligible for it? Because different companies have different criteria. For example, some companies only recruit all India rankers. Some company, require at least first attempt clear. Some companies entertain multiple attempts, like people who took multiple attempts. So you'll have to see if you are eligible for that particular company. Talking about profiles, broadly speaking, you can, maybe divide it into two forms. One could be service sector and other could be industry side, as you can see. Service sector would, typically involve audit. Audit can be tax audit, statutory audit. For that you can maybe, look for a job in Big Four, EY, KPMG, PwC, Deloitte, or, some other firms, some tier 2 firms like Grant Thornton, and, BDO and all these type of firms. Audit would be one thing. Advisory and consultancy. Advisory or consultancy, these Big Fours also provide different types of advisory, and consultancy could be, broadly management consultancy or technology or tech consultancy. These are, provided by firms like MB, which is McKinsey, Bain, BCG, or, Accenture, or these type. Even Big Four provides consultancy services. Other could be, finance, where, finance would be investment banking or, private equity. There are firms like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, these are the firms which take qualified chartered accountants. And just so especially like I specifically know for JP Morgan investment banking, they do entertain, non-rankers. If you have that finance profile and that knowledge, they do entertain non-rankers. So yeah, this is also you can consider. On second side of jobs, probably would be the industry jobs. Industry jobs typically would be, financial and planning analysis, FP&A jobs, financial planning and analysis jobs. It could be a treasury job. There could be strategic roles. Strategic roles are, common in startups and, these new companies and ventures where, they offer you strategy roles in your profile is, to develop the business. So that could be one thing. And the fourth option is, management trainee programs or the leadership development programs, which are offered by companies like Marico, HUL, ITC. These are usually, management trainee roles are usually for rankers, but there are companies, which also provide them to non-rankers. So you can, also target that and manage. So that would be a thing. Now, there are a lot of things you have to search about. Now, what are the sources to, look for it? There could be broadly four sources. One could be, where, you look into your own network. That is, you talk to seniors, you consult them, you ask them about where they are. They would also, know with their experience. Second would be peers, the students who have cleared with you, because, they at their end would be also, doing a lot of research for themselves. So probably, you can discuss with them. Second, or one of the most important source, I think, could be LinkedIn. You have to be very active on LinkedIn, through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is basically, I'll say, Facebook or Instagram of the professional or the corporate world. That is what LinkedIn is. And there's a culture in LinkedIn where you can, reach out to unknown people, and there's a tendency that those unknown people will also, help you, and, they'll reply you back, and, they'll help in whatever is in their control. Through LinkedIn, you can, for example, you are interested in investment banking. Open LinkedIn, search investment banking. You will find all the list. You'll find the list of people who are working in investment banking. See the companies where they are working. So you'll get to know what companies offer job profiles, and see their degree and background. What is required to reach to become an investment banker, for example. See the growth for you can see what are the different designations which they have achieved, or the promotions which they get. What is the duration they spent as a consultant, as an associate, and all those things. By that, you can track the trajectory and all the growth aspects. You can see the job profiles. People share their experiences in the company, and all those things you can find out. Then that would be very important and relevant for you, LinkedIn. Then YouTube, you can randomly search any company, any profile which you are interested in on YouTube, and there are a lot of videos sharing, like people sharing their experiences and stuff. So you can get it from YouTube. Quora also, people share their experiences. So that would be again a thing. After deciding your company and your profile, you are at the start point. You are right now here. You have qualified as a CA. Destination is probably the company and profile you have selected. This is the route, and this route probably would be the process of getting into the company. That would typically involve what exactly is the interview process. We'll go on that. One thing which I want to add, irrespective your choices of companies and profiles you make, do give interviews in multiple companies, just for the sake of maybe experience to learn. So definitely give company, and also as a backup option, definitely give interviews in all the opportunities which you get. Now for the process of interviews and stuff, you can again browse through the same sources. You can ask your seniors, LinkedIn, YouTube, Quora. You can see the interview processes there. Broadly speaking, interview processes, typically it involves, you have to send your CV, you get shortlisted, then there's an interview, and then you land up a job offer. So talking about all these things one by one, first probably would be CV. Talking on CV typically should be a one-pager document, not more than that. It is something which is recommendatory. Format of CV, probably I'll show you my CV for ease of so as you see, CV should be a one-pager document, and on it should start with general details like name, email ID, and contact number and phone number. Then probably you have to give your academic qualifications, where all the degrees and examinations you have mentioned, and you can give it in a tabular form, because there would be space constraints. So you have to make sure that your CV fits in one page. So tabular format helps you save space. So that is what you can do. Then this is the first part. Second part is academic qualification. Third is work experience. Under work experience, you have to give the organization's name. One thing important is also give the name of the city where you have worked, and always also the duration where you have worked. And also probably if you can maybe use formats like this to highlight the functions you have worked in, the company, city, and again the duration. Also because we all will be having articleship experience. One thing, it is considered unethical to mention explicitly your client names. So instead of doing that, you can probably mention them generically. For example, your client is a major player of XYZ industry, having a turnover of this or some, which I have also done. I have just mentioned the industry and probably their turnovers, and I haven't mentioned the exact client name. So that is how you can do. And also put your a lot of numerical data, not a lot, but put in numerical data that would show that you have that will show interview that you have handled big numbers with you and stuff. So you can make it numerical. And then after work, also while drafting your work experience, try to draft it in a manner where you show a problem and a solution. It show, so nowadays companies look for problem solvers, right? So you can, draft it in a manner where, it shows ki your job was, or what your experience is to, see a problem and solve it, or probably you were given a responsibility and you fulfilled it. So you can, draft your sentences in that manner. After work experience, you can put other learning experiences. Usually people, or these are basically extracurriculars. People also, write it as a position of responsibilities. So you can, instead of this, you can also write position of responsibilities, where you can, mention whatever positions you have held, numerical data, and then would be, the extracurricular achievements which you have done in various fields, and, whatever you have done. Okay. Now, talking about some generic discussion, around CV. Career objective is, again, subjective. If you want to add, you can add, but according to my opinion, career objectives, do not hold any value. A, B, you have to fit in one page. It, occupies 3-4 lines. These are, usually generic lines, which, actually doesn't mean anything. You also copy it from internet and, just paste it. So I think it's of no use. Photo, if you want to, you can put. Address, again, would be subjective. If you want to put your address, you can. If you don't want to, you won't. So addresses, becomes relevant for companies. For example, if I am a company at Mumbai, I want to recruit a person. If I am under an opinion that I want a localite, maybe for XYZ reasons, so probably I would, maybe see where the person wants to reside. So address becomes relevant. So you can add it. Even I have added the address in my CV. Then comes the further details, again of no relevance. So probably you can skip, mentioning further details. Getting back on, so it should be a one-page document. Format, I have shown you. Drafting language, I have told you, that it should be giving you a problem. So it should, reflect that you are a problem solver, and you take up a lot of responsibilities. Color, design, font, keep it as decent as possible. There are a lot of websites on internet, which gives you fancy designs of your CVs, but keep it as simple as possible, and as that I think would be advantageous. And also you can bold keywords, like I did in my CV. You can bold keywords. One of the most important thing in CV, I think, is the spike. Nowadays, what companies look for is spike. By what do I mean by spike? Your broadly speaking, CVs has 3 parts: academics, professional experience, and extracurricular activities. Spike is one place where you are extraordinary, is what a spike is. What companies, especially in management consultancy firms, what they look is you have to be average or above average in all the three parts, but there should be one part where you are extraordinary. For example, in academics, a spike probably could be an all India rank. In professional experience, a spike probably could be working in a big 4, or industrial training at a good company. And in extracurriculars, spikes could be a lot of awards, some national level sports, or national level. If you do anything, probably that could be considered as a spike. So spike is something which nowadays companies look for. If you feel if you feel your CV is not so strong, so you can do some quick additional courses to just to add on to your CV, and that could again be related to the profile you are looking. For example, if you are interested in investment banking or something, you can maybe do a course in financial modeling. If I show you my CV, even even I did some certificates and some courses just to add some lines in my CV and to give it some weight. So that is something which you can do. Once your CV is prepared, you have to send it to the company. Again, different routes: directly sending it to the HR if you get its email ID, or you can also reach HR through LinkedIn. Career websites, every company has a website where they have a career portal. You can upload your CV there. You can reach out to different people. For example, you are interested in management trainee role at ITC. You can directly reach out to an existing management trainee in ITC, and you can send your CV and ask him to refer your candidature. Or you can use your own references and own networks to get your CV reach to the relevant person. So once you send your CV, if you get shortlisted, you'll get a mail of congratulations, and you'll get your schedule and whatever the further processes are. Broadly speaking about interviews, there are typically 5 processes broadly. Not necessary every company has every process, but yeah, the entire process for management consultancy firms is completely different. I'll cover that in the end part. Broadly speaking, there are tests, there's then a group discussion, then an HR round, then a technical round, and then a final or a partner round, which like that would be your last round before you get a job offer. Test, nowadays a lot of companies don't take test because you have already given an exam and you have cleared CA, so they don't take test. But even if they want to, they usually take a psychometric test. Psychometric test is basically questions, they are situational or, ethical based questions. For example, they'll give you a situation where you are under pressure. They'll give you 4 options of, how you will handle that situation. Either you have to select one option, or you have to, arrange the 4 options in the order of your priority. These are typical types of psychometric test. And then some companies, like for example Aditya Birla Group, they do take technical tests. These have questions, which you used to give back then in Olympiads and stuff. Those types of questions are there, logical reasoning and, diagrams and all those things. So a technical test, usually if it's a psychometric test, usually people don't get eliminated. Companies don't filter out candidates if it's a psychometric test. But in technical test, chances are, you might, if you don't, attain that score, you might get filtered out. So if it's a technical test, you have to be mindful. Talking about preparing for every stage of interviews, first talking about test, honestly speaking, there's no preparation required according to me for a test, because there's nothing to prepare for. It is very vague. But if you still want to take take a risk averse approach, you can maybe brush up your basics and stuff, and all those type of questions which comes in Olympia, logical reasoning, or you can go through website. There are mock tests available of these type of technical tests as well. So if you want, you can give that, but again, it wouldn't be of much of the use for like as per me. Then the second stage is group discussions, which people call it GD. There could be 2 different types of group discussions. One could be where there are typically 5 to 8 people, or there could be group discussions with 10 to 13 people. When you have 10 to 13 people, it definitely becomes difficult for you to look for a position, and you have to find space to speak. It becomes difficult to mark your presence and stuff. So definitely it will be on your luck. Different companies do different types of GDs. Typically GDs are basically discussions on various topics. There are 4 different types of topics usually. One is maybe on current affairs, for example, like Ukraine-Russia war, or the impact of what is happening in Sri Lanka, and all those kind of things. Second could be technical topics, or maybe on amendments, or maybe some interpretation of GST, or all those kind of things. Third could be school type topics, for example, boon or bane topics, like is internet a boon or a bane, and those type of school type of topics. And fourth could be which doesn't comes under all these 3 brackets, would be unconventional topics, which out of box topics which no one can expect of. For GDs, again, the key is knowledge and language. You need knowledge about the topics, and you have to have a command on language, on knowledge side and on language side. So I'll cover it below, how you can work on both the things. But again, if you get a topic, for example, if you get an unconventional topic, if you get any current affair topic which you don't know about, don't give up. 2 ways. One is listen what other people are listening, make your opinion and put it forward. You have to speak. It is very necessary. And again, there are chances they come up with the company or the interview comes up with a topic where even he would know, no one would know. For example, if he asks some specifics about maybe Nigeria, some economic conditions at Nigeria, no one would have an idea. But the interviewer maybe he must be testing how you handle situations where you don't know anything. You blabber something, or like, do you make sense or not? So that could be he wants to see how you handle pressure. So probably that could also be the case. So don't give up. Speak something, but it should make sense. After you clear your GD, then comes your HR round. HR rounds, typically all those questions, tell us something about yourself, tell us something which is not in your CV, why this company, why this profile, why should we select you, and all those kind of questions. Again, on questions on your on your strengths, your weaknesses. There could be some ethical situations which they give up. For example, you found your co-employee maybe doing a robbery, or maybe doing some fraud kind of thing. How would you go about it? You will report it to your manager, or you will confront the employee, or you will ignore it because it's none of your business. All those kind of situations they can give, and just to evaluate who you are as a person. So that would be typically HR round. Nothing to prepare for, but again, you have to you can prepare answers for these. You should prepare answers for these type of questions. That would be very helpful. After you clear your HR round, there would be the technical round, and according to me, technical round is the decider. Most I guess 99% decisions are made at this round. If you qualify technical round, there are chances that you will also qualify the partner round. Technical round typically would be around your articleship experience. It will be based out of your CV, whatever you write in your work experience in your CV. It will be you will be grilled on your articleship experience. Be honest about what you write in your CV, about your experience. Have good knowledge, in-depth knowledge about your client, about the revenue model, business model, about the industry, and all those things. You have to be very particular, and we have to be very clear about all those things. You have to have knowledge. Other than articleship experience, the probably the interview can ask you about amendments, the recent amendments, about some current affairs, or he can ask you to maybe interpret a law which is under some dispute or something, or he can also ask you situational questions. For example, where you for example, your manager overloads you with a lot of work, and which is not practical, and it gives you a impractical timeline. How would you go about it? You will work extra, or you will ask manager to maybe reschedule, or what you'll do. Those type of situational questions are nowadays are catching fire. So these type of questions can be asked. Again, knowledge and language would be very relevant for you. How to go about it, we'll cover it later. Partner, final round. At the end, it could be a partner or a final round. Language and knowledge will be very important. Now talking about one thing, technical round can be, there could be one technical round, or there could be two technical rounds, depending on, different companies. Some takes one, some take twos. And also, some companies don't take tests, some companies don't take HR round. There could be different permutation combinations of these stages. So, then comes the partner round or the final round, which, could be taken by a CXO or a very senior person in that organization. You have been, grilled through various rounds. They have taken your technicals. You have qualified as a CA, so that shows that you have, you have that knowledge. You have been grilled on your experience. You have done everything. So the objective of this round is not basically, testing your skill, your knowledge, but it's more of, seeing your vision, whether you are a cultural fit for the organization, ethics, whether, your vision is aligned with the vision of organization. You might be also, asked situational questions. And again, you require knowledge and language, but yes, you can expect probably a technical question, one or two technical questions also, but mainly this would be the objective. So after you clear the final round, you get the job offer. So as I spoke, language and knowledge, it is very important, for every stage. Language, knowledge, you have to use all those technical jargons and these keywords and all those things. You have to be very specific about your language and knowledge. You have to be presentable and all those things. So what I came up with, or what I used at my time, was phone a friend. KBC wali lifeline nahi, phone a friend. So what basically phone a friend is, I caught up with 2-3 friends, and they were also looking for jobs. They also cleared with me in December 21. They were also preparing for jobs. So we decided to give each other a call at every night at 9 p.m. and he was supposed to read one article. I was supposed to read one article, and I would tell him about the article which I read, and he would tell me about the article which he read to me. Our conversation would be in English. That was the game. So by this you not only practice speaking in English, but you also develop your knowledge. And when another person is involved, so there is, if अगर आपको आलस आ गया कि यार आज मेरा मन नहीं है, but the other person would call you and कि नहीं भाई ऐसा थोड़ी होता. So there are two persons pushing each other for giving for doing this. So continuity is somehow ensured by when you involve multiple people. So this is something which you can also try. You can watch some podcast or some YouTube videos to increase your knowledge and maybe increase polish your pronunciation or vocabulary, develop your vocabulary and those things. Or you can also join some platforms like Toastmasters, and there are different platforms where you get to brush up your speaking skills. Now some generic actions which you should do before going for an interview is probably a background check. What I mean by background check is you should see the background of the company and the interviewer. By company I mean you should go through its its website. You should see about the vision, mission, about the recent policies or some recent actions which the company took. That could be tested in HR round, how much you are aware about the company. So that would become really very important. So you should look about the you should see about the company, and you can also then use it to make your answers which are and aligned to the company's vision. And then secondly you should also have a look about the interviewer. Probably LinkedIn would be the best source to have a look about, or to know about the background of the interviewer. This would again help you in two ways. For example, if for example your interviewer is working in indirect tax department in his company, he's heading GST department for example, then there are high chances that in your technical round the questions would be around GST or the amendments of GST or any real life problem which he is facing in GST. Even if your job profile is nothing around GST, but because the interviewer is from GST, there are high chances. So, by knowing about the background of interview, you can forecast the questions which could be, asked, because there is a plethora of questions, different types of questions which can be asked. And also, in the last of every round, the interviewer commonly asks, if you have any question for us. First, do not leave that opportunity. You have to ask a question. Second, by going to the background of the interviewer, probably you can, customize your question, or you can, ask a more personalized question based on his journey or his experience, or, probably the other courses, or probably, why he switched from one company to other, or, all those type of questions. You can ask him a personalized questions, which will help you to make an impact on his mind. Try asking him a question which makes him think, so that, he retains your candidature. So, it will help, it will solve dual purpose for you. Other than all these things, ensuring all these things, also, do ensure that you have proper infrastructure before giving interviews. Post-COVID, most of the interviews are virtually organized. You have to make sure that you have a laptop. Do not use a mobile, because, again, if it's a virtual interview mobile, you get a vertical video, right? So avoid that. Make sure you have a stable internet so that your voice doesn't, interrupts in between. You do not get drop off the call and stuff. Wear formal clothes, irrespective you are, sitting at your home giving a virtual interview. Wear formal clothes. Have a quiet room. There should not be, nice noise around you to, distract you as well as the interviewer. At last, talking about the management consultancy interviews, those are typically, case-based interviews, or what we call as case interviews. There are no HR round, technical round, final round, those things. There are, 4-5 rounds of case interviews. Each round probably, will be taken by senior, for example, first taken by a manager, then a senior manager, associate partner, that could be thing. But every round would be a case interview based round. Different types of cases, broadly saying profitability, market entry, growth based, guesstimates, and unconventional cases. These are the broad categories of different cases which are asked in management consultancy. We can maybe discuss more later about it. Now, like in the end, what more should we cover? The different aspects which we talk about. You can probably comment on what more you want to see, or if you want any particular stage or any particular thing which we should cover, you can probably comment, and we can make a video on that. Reach me through Instagram or through LinkedIn. I'll be there. Thank you for hearing me. All the very best for your job hunt.